Back when I first got my little Kubota BX, one of the first things that I built for it was a grill guard. Looked at the factory ones, but they really weren't what I wanted. I wanted something to protect it when I go in the woods and, drag out logs, and to protect it from brush when I'm mowing and stuff. So I, designed in plasma cut this grill guard. It's all out of 1/4-inch steel plate, and it actually added a front trailer hitch adapter for it, and also some tie down points, and there are also some points on the bottom that will allow me to add a snowplow later. But the trouble is, when I first built it, I only had some light gray paint, so that's what I painted it, and it never really matched the tractor up till now. So I was in my Kubota dealer getting stuff for an oil change, and saw they had some of this ropes gray that's supposed to match the ropes on the tractor. So I picked up a can and decided to sand down the grill guard again and give it a quick coat of that. And the paint was rather expensive. It was like $15 for a little can of it, but actually it did go on very nice and covered good with a couple of coats, and it does match the rest of the tractor now, so I'm happy. So with that painted up, it's time to put the grill guard back on the tractor, and there you can see the slots in configuration I have, so it can rock forward to remove the plastic shroud there. So the first thing I do is I just you see, set those slots over the carriage bolts and spacers that are there on the top, and then I have another set of carriage bolts for the bottom. And there's a spacer that's made to be about 20 thousandths thicker than the 1/4-inch stock, to allow the grill guard to rock up and down on. So basically a carriage bolt goes in, and then you just have to put the spacer in the slot there. And then, once you get that in there, the washer that goes on, and you put the nut on and tighten it down, and that way you can really crank it down, and the grill guard still will slide up and down and rock to allow it to rock out of the way. So there's the the first side, and then this is just going over and doing the other side. Maybe you can just kind of see a little better how it fits together. There's the carriage bolt and spacer, and then washer, and then the nut to hold it all together. So you just gotta put them in and tighten them up, and then basically this is what you do. You just pull it up a little bit to rock those slots out, and you can fold it down, and then allows you to remove that shroud off the tractor. And to put it back in place, you just pull it up, push it down. Now originally I had these round lights on it. They stuck up too far, and I don't know if you can see all the cracks and broken plastic on the front of them, but they just kept getting hit by everything, and you go in the woods and they get damaged. So I went on Amazon and I found this light bar. It's like a 126 watt light bar, and it's a combination of both flood and spot beams on it, and it comes with a nice about a 2-foot piece of wire on there to wire it, and some real nice little mounting brackets that allow you to rock it to any position that you want when you mount it. It's it's pretty well made, and it's 8233 lumens, I guess, which really is kind of bright. You'll see in a little while, but so far I think it's working out pretty good for me. It was one of those Amazon Prime things where you get it in 2 days, so you don't have to wait. There you can see, they kind of molded in different patterns for the spot and the flood patterns on it, and they mixed them together in there, so you get a little bit of both. And basically it's real easy to mount. I drilled some holes in the top of the grill guard that I made there, and then just once you get the little brackets on the light lined up with the mounting holes that you drilled, you can basically adjust it anywhere along the length of the light and mount those little brackets. So once you get them adjusted to where you want, you just they give you the mounting hardware that you need. They give you 2 nuts and bolts to mount them to mount it down, and then once you get it mounted down, there are 4 little M10 head screws that allow you to adjust it, and I just adjusted it so that it was perfectly level up and down, so to start with. And there you can see what it looks like on the front of the tractor. It's pretty low profile, and it doesn't stick up too far or anything. So in the future, I'm going to make some pipes that go from that hole there up to the and wrap around the sides of the top there. You can see how that canopy is getting real beat up from trees and brush. For some reason, everything hooks on it. So now the next thing to do is I have to run the power wires in there. So I just decided to drill a hole in one spot there in that front shroud where there was nothing really behind it. And I drilled, I think it was a 5/16 hole that the cable just fit through. And there you can see how once you rock that forward, the shroud comes right off easily, so you don't have to, mess with that. Now, I did buy a wiring kit. There's a lot of extra wire and waste, it seems like, but it did come with a switch and the relay and the fuse and all the wiring and terminals that you needed. So I guess it wasn't too much of a waste of money because it was only like under $10. So they basically give you enough wire with it to wire up a set of lights. And there's where the fuse box is located. I decided I'd try to mount the stuff by the fuse box. Thought I could tap into it, but there was really no way to get at the wires in there or anything. So I just decided to... Oh, here's a shot of how the motor is put in that tractor. It's actually backwards. If you look at the front there's a flywheel, and then the fan is actually at the back, and it sucks the air in across the operator and blows it out the back. I've kind of never seen a configuration like that before, but so here I just decided to run the wires through where the factory wires all come out, and just take and kind of tie wrap these new wires right back to the factory wires on the outside of them, because they seem to be in a pretty safe location. So I just ran them around the existing harness and put a cable tie every couple of inches to hold them in place. And there probably are a bunch of different locations you could mount that the relay in and run the wire through and stuff, but I just decided to take the easiest route possible, and there they are, just strapped to the existing harness. And then I just decided to throw that cowling back on, and you can see how you really have to have that front grill guard tipped out of the way to do it, and that just slides back on. Then I went back and started crimping on some connectors. Now the connectors that came with it were the like the spade type terminals, and they wouldn't fit through my little hole in the cowling there, so I wound up having to use a just these little round male and female plug-in sockets. You can see that the on the light side I put the male plug on the positive terminal, and that's so just in case it should ever come unplugged, you'd never have a hot wire hanging under the hood. And there you can see, it's easy to get them in and out of that hole with those round terminals. And to get the cowling off, which you have to do for oil changes and stuff, you have to pull those wires out. So I was trying to keep it as simple as possible. So, I got that wire in place and the light mounted now. And, it's just a matter of going back and crimping on the mating parts on the wire coming from the relay. That's where it's strapped up against the existing wiring harness. So really it was a pretty easy job to get these here, and I wound up cutting off a lot of extra wire because this kit was supposedly long enough to wire 2 lights in to a car bumper. So there was plenty of wire here. So just got them crimped on and plugged together, and that's what the basic underhood wiring looks like. Now, for that grill guard, I actually added two extra bolts that I could put in there for safety's sake if I put a plow on there. So I just throw them on after I flip it up just to hold it in place. Now for the hot wire to the fuse holder, here you see I just slid the battery out of position, and I decided to run that one right back to the battery. There was no way to really. There's an extra fuse in the fuse holder for a work light that's wired in the back, but there was really no easy way to get to it. So, I just ran that wire directly to the battery, and then I took a piece of. I had some of that orange tubing that would fit over the factory power wire, and I just ran. I ran that hot wire to the fuse, in there, so it would be safe and wouldn't be able to rub against anything. There you can see I shoved the relay back in there next to the existing fuse panel, and there's a new fuse too, just sitting in there. So the only thing left to do really was to mount the switch that came with the kit. Now this needed a 1-inch hole, so I had to use one of these depth drills, and about the only spot in the dash I could find that had enough clearance behind it was over on the side there by the hydraulic lever. So I wound up drilling that out to get my 1-inch hole, and then just had to snake the 3 wires to the switch up there. Now these wires, the red one I actually hooked to a circuit that only comes on when the key is on, so that the lights won't come on if you turn the key off. And then the other one is just the power back to the relay coil. And then the third one is just a neutral for the LED that's built into the switch. So I just, ran the wires up there, put some tie wraps on them to keep them out of the way of things, and just left enough sticking out there to be able to crimp on the terminals that are required for the switch. Now that's just some of the 1/4-inch fast on terminals. That was just a matter of crimping them on. And I think the wires that they came in the kit for the this relay coil were only about 18 gauge, and the wires for the lights themselves were only 16 gauge, so it's not a real heavy duty set, but it will easily handle the 10 amps that the light will draw. So I got those wires crimped on, and then they plugged right into the back of the switch. Everything was pretty much numbered nicely, and then I just did a little test here to make sure that it only worked when the key was on and the LED in it lit up. So it looked like it's gonna work, and then it just had these little locks where you just slide it in, pop it in, and it had a little waterproof shield on it. So hopefully that will keep it from getting damaged. But so there you can see, you turn the key off, the lights go off. So and here's basically the first test, make sure that the lights work, and that's what it looks like. So everything works. So I waited for dark to go out and do some mowing, and here it is with the factory lights on. Now they're two 38-watt bulbs, which is the equivalent of 76 watts total. So you can see you really can't see all that well with them. And then I turned on the new LED that's only 126 watts, and what a difference! It was like daylight. This thing lit up about a 50-foot wide path by probably 150, 200 feet long. You could see out there real good, and it was just kind of like mowing in daylight. I just could not believe how bright this was, and the difference between the light that came on it and the LED light, which is only like about 50% more watts. So I think I'm going to be real happy with this in the long run. I don't know how it will stand up over time and stuff, but I will find out. And at least this will allow me to get out and mow after dark, when usually it's the only time of the day lately, it seems like, where the grass is dry because we've had so much rain lately. But I guess I'm real happy so far with the way it's going to work out, it looks like. So I think this was really a good upgrade for the tractor, and someday I'm going to put a plow on it also, so I think this will really be, you know, good. Oh, there it is again. There's the stock lights again. And it's hard to tell with the camera, though, what they look like. But then there's the LED light. And you can definitely see the difference, so... you know, I just kind of think it's unbelievable that you can get that kind of that amount of light for out of one of these lights, and it's only I think it was like $28.65 or something like that. But you know, it just amazed me, and kind of like looking at it, it's extremely blinding. Now you have to be careful if you are standing in front of it. And there's a pattern you can pretty much see. It's a little bit rounded on the sides there, and it goes out 150, 200 feet, and you know, it's maybe 40 to 50 feet wide at the widest spot. It's and there it is, kind of just pulling it into my shop. You can get an idea of really how bright it is. It's just amazing. You know, so I just kind of thought I'd share the experience, you know, with this light, and I think it's going to be a real good addition to the little tractor. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.